Yesterday, we have started to explore the first type of wrong speech, abstaining from false speech, one of the four types. What are the four types again? Let's see. Abstaining from false speech, abstaining from slanderous speech, abstaining from harsh speech, and abstaining from idle chatter. So these are the four types of right speech. And yesterday we covered the motive of lying. So it can be three motives. First one is lying for greed. Second one with hatred. And the last one with delusion. And we showed the example of a very hot, fresh from the oven. It just came out in the news in the morning. The Worker Party MP Raisha Khan. So again, this is not my political news. This is just what is in the papers. So this one, I suppose this motive is more of a mix of delusion and also probably hatred or aversion towards the police force. Yes. So yesterday I encouraged you to find examples of lying according to these three motives. So anyone can find the example? Okay, doesn't seem so. So I found a few examples, and interestingly, it just shows up in the news. So it's really fresh. The second example that I found, other than the Raisha Khan, so this one actually quite interesting. Teen admits lying he had COVID-19 as a prank. His NSF friend was sent home from Pulau Tekong and isolated. This was 2 November, 2 p.m. So it just came out yesterday. When I saw this, I laughed because this kind of prank is actually the thing that I used to do. Like I like to, tell a lie to my friends, even to my family, just to make some kind of a joke or make a fun out of the situation. But this one has a really dire consequences. So if I don't encounter the teaching, I might just continue doing what I have been doing, But it is because I read this text, I have gradually reduced or diminished these habitual tendencies to lie for the sake of joke. Yeah, so I have restrained myself now much more than before. So this is exactly the example here. When delusion is the principal motive, the result is a less pernicious type of falsehood, the irrational lie, the compulsive lie. The interesting exaggeration lying for the sake of joke. So this would probably fall under these two categories. Exaggeration or lying for the sake of joke. Actually more for the last one. And the third example that I found, this one is probably Wakens can relate a lot. Malaysian ex-PM Najib found guilty in 1MDB scandal. I think this is a huge event. I think some of you should be aware of this. Yeah. So which type does this fall under?
To be honest, I didn't even know the news. Thanks for sharing with me. I didn't even know.
You didn't know your PM was involved in this scandal? Oh wow. Okay. I thought it was a big thing and all Malaysians should know.
I mean, it is a big thing. I don't know. When did it come out? I don't even know. Is it a recent news?
It was pretty recent, last year, July, but it was a long saga. It's not just a 1-year saga. And then he's sentenced to 12 years.
I see. Really? Okay, never mind. We can talk about this another time. Okay.
You didn't follow the news at all.
There is, yeah. Okay, I didn't know he was found guilty. I know he was on trial. I didn't know he was found guilty. But okay.
But you are aware of the whole scandal thing.
Of course. I just didn't know the sentence. I didn't know the sentence was out. But yeah, I know he was on trial.
Yeah. So I thought you just gave up on Malaysian politics and don't bother to read the news at all. Yeah. Anyway, so this one is clearly greed as the chief motive results in the lie. So he tried to gain a lot of money, a lot of advantage. That's why he became corrupt. as with most politicians, actually, not just him. But this one is the big one that you can read in the papers. Okay, second, yes.
Yeah, can I ask a question regarding compulsive lie? What do you mean by having a compulsive lie?
You mean
Yes.
me? Me having compulsive lie or people?
No, no, no. That means that sentence when Bhikkhu Bodhi said, to have compulsive lying, that means you are compulsive to lie. Is it something like, because previously I heard before is like, for example, you sign and you do some survey, and then there's this tick that I agree, I've read all the terms and condition, right? Then after that you tick it and then you sign it. So is that a compulsive lie?
That's an interesting example, isn't it? Aren't we all have encountered that I agree thing? I have read all the terms and
Yeah, we don't really go and read it, but in order to fill up the survey, we have to tick that sentence, right? So
yeah.
is that compulsive lie? I don't really understand what is the meaning of compulsive lie.
Yeah. But firstly, that's a good example because I think most of us has done that. So are we lying when we tick that form? That is one thing we can think about. But whether it's compulsive lie or I feel like it's more like we did not read out of laziness. You know, imagine if every time we want to install something and we have to read through all this, it would take us like 1 hour to read through everything. I feel like that's more out of laziness. So it is probably still under delusion, but whether it's compulsive lie or not 100% sure. For me, compulsive lie is usually happens to small kids. When when we ask them something, let's say, have you done your homework? And then when they try to cover up, they haven't done their homework, but they try to cover it up just to protect themselves. Then they immediately compulsively say, oh, I have done my homework. So I would probably say that would be compulsive lie. Like lie you make up on the spot just to protect yourself. Yeah. And of course, as a kid, of course, I did that quite frequently. That's how I would say the examples of compulsive lie. So how about others? Any add-ons? We can, yes.
I was wondering, I mean, that's a good question, sister. I was wondering what compulsive could mean. So one word I thought of was compel, right? If you're compelled means like you're sort of forced to, which is the example Marcel gave, right? Like, let's say I want to protect myself, I'm in trouble, then I lie to protect myself. Like you're forced to compel. But then another meaning is, this one, what Marcel is showing right now, resulting from or relating to an irresistible urge. If this is the definition, then it's a different idea already. Like it means like habitual, like habitually you just lie for no strong reason because it's a habit for you already. You just like to lie or you just want to lie. I don't know.
Okay.
I was thinking one of those two, perhaps. What do you guys think?
So I feel like there are two words, and one is compulsive, the other one is impulsive.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Oh, I was wrong. So impulsive is the one where it's spontaneous, but compulsive involves some kind of planning or I feel like compulsive
like compelling, right? Like
yeah.
you have to lie, right?
Yeah.
But in what situation you have to lie? I don't seem to come up with an example. Like in what situation then you say this, you must lie.
Yeah. I mean,
compulsive has an element of like what Brother Wei said. It has an element of doing it as a habit. Versus impulsive is just out of a very quick answer, quick reaction to a situation, and then you're trying to settle it and you just lie. So it's an impulsive. But you don't do that every time. So that's become very impulsive liar. Because you don't do it every time, you just want to quickly solve the problem or get the person out of a situation. So you very impulsively reacted to it without thinking what is the karma behind this lying action. So that will become impulsive. Whereas compulsive is like you cannot help yourself, like you're a drug addict already. It's like if I don't lie, I feel very uncomfortable, something like that. It's like a compulsive drinker, you're like it's like in you, and without even knowing that this is a lie, or even unawarely, you didn't even know this is a lying thing or something already. I think that's very compulsive. Yeah. Something like that. Is that right? I'm not sure, but that's how I would have interpreted it. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. I think Waken and Jolene on a similar line, and I think they were right. The example that I gave earlier is more pointing towards an impulsive lie. So I have to correct myself there. So thanks a lot, Waken and Jolene, for answering and correcting myself as well.
Brother, can I also mention at this point, okay, because now we are, sometimes when we do something and we all say, oh, shit, I do it, that's bad karma, we kind of like, a bit of like, feeling like a bit, I don't know, like, sometimes we do something, right? But actually, Venerable ever clarified, for karma to have its effect, we must have a complete karma. Complete karma, they actually has 4 elements to it. And one of the biggest element is the intention. Mm-hmm. And the final element is the action must be completed. So there was 4 elements. There was an intention to do it. That means an intention to lie to someone. And then there's a second element, there's an intention. Sorry, I try and pick up the 4. I don't want to say it wrongly, but there is a 4 element. Okay. But the last one, it must be completed. It must be already towards someone outside you to have a complete karma. Mm-hmm. So for example, like Sister Sakyang said, you sign, but you have no intention to lie. Say for example, your intention, this is getting into the karma of lying. There's no intention to lie. You read a few pages, you just say, okay, almost there. Oh, there's 30 of them, I can't read every single word. My English is limited, I cannot, those are more language or something, like that, Then you say, aga, okay lah, everybody sign lah, I sign should be okay lah, something like that. So I don't think there is intention to lie. So you will not get the karma of lying, I think. I don't feel so lah. Yeah. But you might later on maybe felt that if something later happened to you, like for example, you realize, I want to call this company and say, hey, I want to claim for this. And the company said, you sign this. Then you go and read the passage. Then you're very regretful, feel that, why didn't I actually read it and sign, right? So I don't think that is really lying. Yeah. I feel like it's not lying. I think it's just the karma we get out of ignorance because we don't know the language or we didn't read it. That's what I feel, something like that. Because there was no intention to harm anyone. There was no intention to create a benefit out of it. There must be a benefit out of this karma or something. So, but there isn't, Yeah.
Okay, thanks for adding on, Jolene. So if we go back to the materials, we have explored some of the examples of this. That text to Sakyang question, we also explored deeply about compulsive lie, and we clarified on this. So any more examples you guys can think of out of these 3 motives? Okay, probably not for now. Yeah, if you guys suddenly think of example or read something in the news, you can send me, you can let me know. Yeah, WhatsApp me, Marcel, I have found the example. Then maybe in next sessions I can share with the group. Yes, yesterday we have finished reading this one. The process of lying is also tend to proliferate. Once we lie, we felt compelled to lie again to defend our first statement, to defend our credibility, to paint a consistent picture of events. So process of snowballing. It repeats itself. The lies stretch, multiply, and connect until they lock us into a cage of falsehoods from which it is difficult to escape. Yeah. So this is another danger in lying. Today we are going to continue lightly from the sutta itself, this whole paragraph. Not the whole paragraph, but some of it. Such considerations probably, Such considerations probably lie behind the words of counsel the Buddha spoke to his son, the young novice Rahula. Soon after the boy was ordained, one day the Buddha came to Rahula, pointed to a bowl with a little bit of water in it, and asked, Rahula, do you see this bit of water left in the bowl? Rahula answered, yes, sir. So little, Rahula, is the spiritual achievement, samanya, or recluseship, of one who is not afraid to speak a deliberate lie. Then the Buddha threw the water away, put the bowl down, and said, do you see, Rahula, how that water has been discarded? In the same way, one who tells a deliberate lie discards whatever spiritual achievement he has made. Again, he asked, do you see how this bowl is now empty? In the same way, one who has no shame in speaking lies is empty of spiritual achievement. Then the Buddha turned the bowl upside down and said, do you see, Rahula, how this bowl has been turned upside down? In the same way, one who tells a deliberate lie turns his spiritual achievements upside down and becomes incapable of progress. Therefore, the Buddha concluded, one should not speak a deliberate lie, even in jest. So here, jest meaning even as a joke. So let's quickly divide. Yeah. A thing said or done for amusement, a joke. So after I read this text, I was like, oh no, I have done this frequently. It's like, oh. Okay, one example I forgot to say to you. This is a personal story. So I checked my friend's birthday, and so I gave her, was I getting aware of this? So I gave her a gift, and then she was surprised. How did you know my birthday? She said. Then I tell her, oh, I have a divine eye. Of course, it makes the situation, everyone laughs. But in actual fact, I just checked her Facebook and it's displayed in her Facebook, the birthday. So that is one lie that I made out of a joke, out of jest, in jest. So this is just my personal story. Someone wrote something in the chat, Jolene, okay. Yeah, so I think this is a powerful paragraph, at least for me, because I can relate to it, that I have done a lot of jokes out of jest, a lot of lies, but in jest. So any comments or questions? So it is very strict, the Buddha's rules against lying. It is also mentioned again in the, this one. It is said that in the course of his long training for enlightenment over many lives, a bodhisattva can break all the moral precepts except the pledge to speak the truth. The reason is that the commitment to truth has a significance transcending the domain of ethics. and even mental purification, taking us to the domains of knowledge and beings. So perhaps we can close today's session by reading one more paragraph. Not here. Oh, it is actually this last paragraph. So let's read this. I was reading ahead, not behind. Yeah. So, Jolene, would you like to read this paragraph?
Oh, sorry, I start from it is said.
Yes. Yes.
It is said that in the course of his long training for enlightenment over many lives, a bodhisattva can break all the moral precepts, except the pledge to speak the truth. The reason for this is very profound and reveals that the commitment to truth has a significance transcending the domain of ethics and even mental purification, taking us to the domains of knowledge and being. Truthful speech provides, in the sphere of interpersonal communication, a parallel to wisdom in the sphere of private understanding. The two are respectively the outward and inward modalities of the same commitment to what is real. Wisdom consists in the realization of truth. The truth is not just a verbal proposition, but the nature of things as they are. To realize truth, our whole being has to be brought into accord with actuality, with things as they are, which requires that in communications with others, we respect things as they are by speaking the truth. Truthful speech establishes a correspondence between our own inner being and the real nature of phenomena, allowing wisdom to rise up and fathom their real nature. Thus, much more than an ethical principle, devotion to truthful speech is a matter of taking our stand on reality rather than illusion, on the truth grasped by wisdom rather than fantasies wallen by desire.
Okay, thanks, Jolene. So I think this is a powerful paragraph. The commitment to truth and the significance of it. And because our whole path is all about realization of the truth, so it emphasizes again how important it is for us to commit to truth and to not just lie because of the three underlying motives: greed, hatred, or delusion. So, any comments or questions before we wrap up for today? So, Jolene clarified the 4 elements of karma. Where was this from, Jolene? Oh, the Foundation of Buddhist Practice by the Dalai Lama and Venerable Tubten Children. Okay, thanks, Jolene. Okay, yeah. Thanks. So if no comments on questions, let's wrap up for today with dedication. 愿消三障诸愿得智慧真明了普愿罪障悉消除十世常行菩萨道阿弥陀佛 Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a non-lying day ahead. Okay, thanks everyone for participating today. I'll see you again next time.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.